go, chat. Here we are. Say it with me now. Say it with me now, chat. Arigato! Yay! Oh! There it is. There it is. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Hope everyone's having a very nice Monday evening. It's been a very busy day for me. Despite it being MLK Day, a day that I'm supposed to get off for my job, I had to go to work today. Thankfully, I didn't have to get up too early. I slept in a little bit till like around 10, got in the office at 10:30. It was finishing this big project up. It was a huge pain in the ass, but I'm here. I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to be relaxing. Look at the people. Hello, Jesus, Chris Harris. You posted a fucking paragraph. What are you doing, you crazy kid? Oh, it's all the wonderful quotes from the movie. Hell yeah, goddamn right. Teamwork makes the dream work, bro. Goddamn right. That's what we do in my goddamn stream all the time. You help me out. You help me out, chat. I help you out. I provide you with the wonderful content. How you guys doing? Chris Harris, let me know if I missed any other amazing lines. I'll let you know, man. I'm going to go through it all. And I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing in just a second. Again, welcome, Lucky Dog Podcast. Dolittle, goddamn right. He made a doo-doo with that Dolittle. I did not make that up. That is a line in the actual fucking film. Dolittle made a doo-doo. Among others, as Chris Harris, I imagine, yep, it's right there. I just see it right now. Did a Dolittle make a little doo-doo? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Making sure you be welcome to the stream. The little flying squirrel in his coat. There is a little flying squirrel. That flying squirrel has a very important job in the film. It does something important. I will describe it in detail, in vivid fucking detail on the stream tonight. Sarah, welcome to stream. Happy stream day and MLK Day. Goddamn right. Sarah, good to have you here. Hope you're doing very, very well. Happy MLK Day. Happy stream day to everyone. Doing well, welcome. You understand the words there? Come on, my beak. Oh, God. Was that in the movie? Was that actually in the movie? Because if not, it should be. It feels appropriate for the film. On laser. Ah! That fucking scream. It was in there? Oh, my. I missed that. Jesus Christ, I totally missed that. See, there's the thing is about this film, guys, about Dolittle, about 2020's Dolittle, one of the first big movies of the year. You know, January, which is known as typically a dumping ground for, studios are like, we don't know what the fuck to do with this. We can't put out in the summer. We can't put out in the fall. Spring, no, not really, because we got some other big films. January, because that's a dumping month. January and typically September. Though in September, we get some good films, too, now. Get a few, Oscar, like caliber movies, I'd say, or some horror films as well. Some interesting things. Well, January is typically a dumping month. And, yeah, Dolittle definitely deserves it. That I could say. The town, yeah, there you go. See, there are exceptions. There are exceptions in September. But January, although that might be an exception now, because you got Bad Boys for Life doing so well. People seem to be really enjoying that. It's funny because I'm not even the biggest fan of the franchise. I like the first one fine. It's fine. Don't like the second one at all. But everyone's telling me to check out the third one. I might have to. Might have to take some time off just to see that movie for my viewing pleasure when I'm not seeing bullshit like Dolittle. How's everyone doing today? Bad Boys 3 was surprisingly good. That's what I keep hearing. You probably checked out the Double Toasted review. Corey and Martin were very, very positive. A number of other critics that I follow and whose opinions I do trust. They were very positive about the film, so I'll have to check it out myself. But guys, I did not see, as I said, Bad Boys for Life or Bad Boys 3, whatever it's called. I did see Dolittle with a Corey Coleman and the Patrick Gertz, as you know, on Thursday of last week. Corey Coleman was forced to see Dolittle because he tempted your wrath, Chad. He tempted your wrath. And said if we get to a hype level, which is, the hype thing, which is a new thing that's been added to Twitch through various subscriptions and donations and biddies that go towards the stream, it'll increase the hype level, one after the other. And if we get to level 6, then Corey would go see Dolittle, and lo and behold, within about a span of probably 10 minutes, if less than that, you guys did it. And since I was already obligated to see Dolittle because you also hit one of my stretch goals of $25, which was money well spent, chat. I paid for my ticket using that money. I got some food, some drinks, so I could see Dolittle with Patrick Gertz and Corey Coleman. I'll tell you this, guys. It was an enjoyable experience in terms of just us fucking cackling at Corey's goddamn misery. Him just his head in the hand going, oh my God, I hate this. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, chat. Goddamn right, Juicy Boys for life. Absolutely. Lucky Dog Podcast. The Fall from Grace counts a January movie, though. It's like, yeah, no, that counts. It came out in the month of January. It came out January 17th, so that's definitely a January film. Terrible. Every time I start the stream, my view counter's not updating. I have to click off. Here, I have to refresh. Now we're back. Now we're here right now. I'll say this. I mean, honestly, I don't know what's better, Dolittle or Fall from Grace. I do not know. Or what's worse. I really have to think about that. They're both terrible films. Which, again, guys, check out my Saturday stream where I did a spoiler-heavy scene-by-scene breakdown of Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace. The first of his films for Netflix in his year-long, multi-year-long contract with the streaming service. We'll be getting plenty of those. A lot of those reviews in the future. Probably on this stream. Darkslayer, welcome. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Ryan, welcome. January movies peaked to Paddington. Yeah, Paddington's great. Both films are very, very good. It's a shame no one saw them. I'm very disappointed by that. They're wonderful family movies, those Paddington films. The second one's even better than the first. Oh! Ben, who is that? Ben Dover for me! Thank you for the follow. You're my Huckleberry. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you tuned in right now because I'm just about to do my spoiler review for Dolittle. Now, you've heard many a review so far. Again, Double Toasted's review, probably some of the critics' review, but I don't think you've seen a spoiler review yet, which I'm going to do for you right now. Again, guys, I want to thank everyone for the recent support these last few weeks. For hitting my very stretch goals, for helping me reach 115 subscribers for the month of January. Again, thank you so much. Weekly top donator so far is Retronomus with 500 biddies, followed by a monthly top donor of Fern with 2,360 biddies. I can't even talk now. All the love, it's making me choke up as we speak. No, thank you guys for the support. I really do appreciate it. Matter of fact, let's take a look at the Biddy Boss champions and the #1 gifted subbers as well. Currently in the lead in terms of gifted subs, Harry Balsa Kanan, who did my wonderful intro, which you guys just heard if you just tuned in. Followed by Tarlin with 16, Specimen 5 with 10, V with 3, and the Nick Luzzy with 1. And of course, a whole bunch of other people with the gifted subs. Again, thank you so much, guys. And our top cheerers of the month, as I said before, Fern with 2,360 biddies. In second, JT Grimm with 2,095, Chris Ayers with 2,000. Fourth place, Nooner with 1,500, and Tarlin with 1,199 biddies. Just one biddy away from 1,200. So again, guys, and of course, everyone else who donated to the stream, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support. Now, before we begin, I will also want to say one more thing. Tomorrow, I'll be doing another spoiler review. It'll be for Troll 2, not Trolls 2, as I was corrected by Ryan Walterson the other day. Not the animated film Trolls, which I will not be seeing. I'm not going to put up a stretch goal for that. I can tell you that much. No thank you. But I'm going to be reviewing a spoiler-heavy review for Troll 2, the infamous, what is considered to be the greatest bad movie of all time, Troll 2. I think that should be a lot of fun. I'm going to do a lot more stretch goals this week. Going to put up a few more, I imagine, probably on my Troll 2 review day. Think of something really good. Corbin, welcome to the stream. Rose Venture, how you doing? My berries. Ray Fiennes, why? Why would you do that to yourself? Rose Venture, how are the doggos today? Rose Venture, you with the doggos? Darkslayer, I'm doing well, thank you. Oh, and the first donation of the stream, Zana, I see you there right now. Thank you for the 5 biddies. I do appreciate that. Already to support the start of the week, guys. Thank you. Hope everyone's having a very nice Monday evening again. Hope everyone had, hopefully you guys had a nice day off. I had to go into work, as I said before. Not as long as I, normally would have to during the week, but I had to get some stuff done. But here's to you, chat. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather. We got 5 doggos. They listened to last night's show. Nice. I hope the doggos like the show. That's very good to hear. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and get into the Dolittle review. Now it's interesting because I went on Wikipedia just to kind of have basically scene by scene. I could follow along the plot in this movie. It's not even up there. Wikipedia's like, I don't fucking know. If you go to Wikipedia right now and you scroll down the plot, there's nothing there. All it says, this section needs expansion. Oh, we got a new follower, Sin. Dirty Sin 13. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to stream. How you doing today? Oh, my Huckleberry. So many new Huckleberries, chat. I love it. I'm refreshing. Plot. Peter's just like, I don't know. I don't know what's there. Golden. I thought it was the animated one. What are you talking about? Oh. I didn't see the movie. I just heard and seen Corey's torturous take on 2 viewing Dolittle. Oh, yeah, that was awesome. Yep. Gertz was on the segment for that. I was on the segment for that. Martin as well. It was a whole bunch of people that have all seen Dolittle together. Corey was the one who'd seen it twice. So that was a very fun review. Do check that out. Oh! Ingenuity! Thank you so much for the host and welcome to the stream. I've been seeing you in the chats lately, especially on Double Toasted chats. Welcome. Hope you're doing well today. I always appreciate the hosts, guys. They help spread the word of the Reddits. Along with Double Toasted, too. We really do appreciate the hosts on Double Toasted. Thank you. But, as I said, guys, we're going to get into the... let's just jump right into it. You know? For those of you who've seen Dolittle, please share your worst moments, the things that scarred you while watching this film, or made you laugh. And thankfully, I'll say this about... I'll give you my general opinion about the movie. I saw this under the best circumstances possible, which I suggest you try to find those best circumstances for yourself to see something like this, because it's a bad movie through and through. It's just a mistake. It really is a mistake. Like, you could tell that they really didn't know what they wanted this to be. Like a grand CGI epic, family comedy, you know. It would try to be all these different things, and it never worked. It never really came to anything. A movie that references modern day pop culture, but is set during, you know, the 1800s. It doesn't know what it wants to be. And that's why it sucks. That's why it absolutely sucks. Oh. Corbin, I saw it live last night. At least Martin knows the courtesy of saying no. Yeah, Martin's smart. He knows. He's got a good survival instinct. But again, I was obligated to see it, so I had no goddamn choice. And it was just, lo and behold, just open up the hour. I'll go see it with Corey and Gertz. But I would suggest you are going to see this, see it under the best circumstances possible, where they serve alcohol, where they serve food, and you're seeing it with among friends. You know, I was able to see this with both Corey and Gertz. You know, Gertz is really the perfect person to see these kind of movies with, because he's just fucking cackling the entire time. Because you can tell that evil, you heard his fucking laugh, that evil laugh, and it's just so much fun. Because it makes you want to laugh too. And I think all of us were pretty much in sync. You know, despite Corey's, you know, obvious misery throughout the movie, he was even laughing as well. Because, you know, Gertz and I were just fucking cackling. There were moments in this film, they're so, again, similar to Cats in a way. Not as funny as Cats, but similar to Cats in a way, where there's a lot of unintentionally funny moments, or stuff that's just so bad you have to laugh at it. It's like, how did you even think that would work? And you just laugh at it. Or stuff they just didn't intend. A lot of innuendo in this movie, which I also found really funny, particularly surrounding one character. But again, if you want to see this, see it under the best circumstances. Food, drink, friends. Friends who could tolerate bad movies and who actually actively enjoy them. That is my warning to you. But to get into it, guys, for Dolittle, which apparently has had production problems for years. A budget of $175 million, currently bombing at the box office, not doing well. Passion project of Robert Downey Jr. and his wife, Susan Downey. I found out that they were producing it, and that's the last thing you see at the end of the credits, guys, is Susan Downey's production company, with her husband Robert. But like when this movie opens up, actually, you know what? It was off to a good start. I'll say this: I actually think, because it opens up with this, you know, like backstory to, you know, Dolittle and his wife. And it kind of opens up this like this animated sequence. And like the first few seconds, like, this is kind of charming. I actually really like what they're doing here. But then I noticed that the animation style, I've seen this a lot more often. Like over the past, I'd say 5 years. I'll say like 5 years since like 2015, 2016. It's that weird, I don't know how to describe the animation style, but it's like, it's definitely not 2D, it's 3D, but it looks so cheap. It honestly reminds me of, you guys ever seen the Ruby series that Rooster Teeth has done? Or like some of those animes, there's like it's like CGI. Almost like paper cutouts to me. Like they're very blocky and stuff, and it just feels really awkward. And despite like all the color they have in these scenes and some of the transitions, it's like, it already feels incredibly cheap while we're watching this backstory. It's like, okay, I was like, all right, it's about this guy who's fallen in love with this woman. And honestly, I'll say this, I would have preferred to see that story. You know? We don't really see them together in the film except in animated form in one other sequence much later in the film. Very poor CGI, where just two people surrounded by green screens, enveloped in fucking green screens. But that was it. Basically explains, you know, Dolittle could talk to animals. You know the whole thing. met this woman who was the greatest explorer in the world. They fell for each other, went to different places, helping animals, freeing animals from pirates and warlords and, and poachers and everything you could imagine. Because of their great deeds, the Queen of England, I believe Victoria, the Queen Victoria, because of Dolittle's great deeds, and his wife's great deeds as well, and his, his contributions to the crown and to the country of England, he's bequeathed this estate, this mansion, where he can conduct all of his research of his wife and help the animals of the world, anyone else who wants to go there and help their animals. Like, oh, it's very sweet, very sweet. Then the story goes into the fact that his wife goes off on this adventure, which they don't explain yet, they explain later. About 20 minutes they'll explain what she was doing. She goes off on this adventure, and, she gets into a big storm, goddamn fucking tumultuous, fucking dies at sea. Parrot named Polly takes the ring, gives it to Dolittle, he's crying, he's very sad. And, like, for years, he becomes a recluse, doesn't want to see anybody, no humans, wants to be left alone. The estate falls into disarray, and, a lot of people are like, who maybe don't even know he exists, or the estate even is in there. We cut a number of years later. We're following this doofus kid, as I call him, because he's got, like, all his teeth, again, British dentistry in the 1800s, probably not great, but still, like, it's the one thing you could fix. But this kid's teeth, they're like, it's like an era. It's like if they were like shark teeth to a certain degree, but they're all misshapen and weird, and they're going off in all different directions. If you look at his goddamn teeth, you'll notice. He was a yes, thank you, Chris Harris. It was a stereotypical British nerdy kid with terrible teeth. It's like, that's the one thing I'd be fine with if they fixed his teeth. But it was like all misshapen and weird. Sandy, welcome to stream. Mr. Yasman, welcome. I listened to Corey review and I already wanted to kill the squirrel. We're here at the squirrel scene. But we're meeting this kid. His name is Tommy Stubbins. He got stubby teeth. That's why I imagine he's called Stubbins. And he's out with on a hunting trip with his uncle and cousin. His cousin doesn't get any fucking lines except duck, duck, duck. That's all he says. That's all the cousin says. He knows how to say duck apparently really well. I think he's kind of slow, and that's why he likes killing things and saying duck. That's about it. And his uncle's like, oh, you gotta shoot the ducks, or we take on these hunting trips. All you do is fucking save animals. You don't shoot anything. Just fucking shoot something. And so the guy goes duck, 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 and the ducks fly up in the air, and he's aiming, but he just want to shoot. He just want to shoot him. So he closes his eyes, he shoots, and he doesn't hit a duck, but he hits a little squirrel, a little terribly CGI'd squirrel. It looks very fake. That's the other thing, chat. Like, at first, the movie, like, oh, okay, some of the CGI animals look okay, but then later on in the film, they stop giving a fuck. Where it's like, this does not look natural at all. They become way too anthropomorphic. They can't decide whether to make them realistic or something out of a goddamn Looney Tunes cartoon. Like fucking, Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck or Foghorn Leghorn, like shit like that. It's very bizarre. So he shoots the squirrel. He's very broken up about it. He's like, I don't know what to do. And Uncle says, you don't want to suffer. He pulls out this big fucking knife and says, all right, take care of it. And then the uncle and the doofy duck-loving cousin, they walk off. He's like, I don't want to do this. And then above him is a parrot who's talking to him. He's like, follow me or whatever the fuck the parrot says. Polly, as we soon learn. He follows Polly to what we soon discover is the Dolittle estate. Dolittle and wife, I guess what it's called. Dolittle and wife estate. He sneaks in there. And he's like, okay, he's like, and it's kind of like, this is one little sequence I actually kind of liked where he walks in, there's all these butterflies around him, and they all circle around him. I actually thought that was kind of nice. I was like, oh, this is part of the CGI I actually like, insects. Although the insects it's funny, I say, oh yeah, the insects are good, but then you find out some terrible insect characters later on in the film. But the butterflies who don't talk and just float around, that was nice. And so he's walking around the estate, ends up getting in one of those net traps and gets fucking catapulted into the sky, connected to this rope in a net. And then this I believe this polar bear, who was one of the worst characters in the movie, comes out and starts like, look, we caught something. And then I believe, see, this is where I get mixed up, Chad. This is why I need the help of the plot, because now I'm gonna get confused. So you gotta help me out here. I think at one point, they don't talk. The animals that didn't talk were nice. I mean, yes, they were. Absolutely, Zane. I agree with you. But then at one point, oh, I know what happened. So he's hanging up there or something, and there's polar bears or whatever. And then we see another character enter the film, which I thought she was going to have a bigger role, but she definitely does not. And it's Lady Rose, I believe. And she's a princess, apparently, but she's like the Queen Victoria's hand, in a way, servant hand or whatever. Yeah, that's how, because I'm reading the Wikipedia entry here, Chris Sayers. They say she's a princess, which was not indicated in the film. But she's basically, Victoria's handmaiden, that's it. And she's like, oh, what the fuck happened to you? And he's like, I don't know. And I think somehow he gets down or whatever. Something happens. Either he gets dragged into the house or he gets down somehow. Now, meanwhile, this is all going on. There's a commotion and everything. We go into the mansion and we see Robert Downey Jr., and the way I described it, at the theater and later on briefly in the review, the second review, is he's doing his best Johnny Depp impression. The crazy, kind of lazy Johnny Depp performance where he's not really, I guess it is acting to a degree, but he's just making noises and just guttural sounds, switching between accents, different accents, whether it be, like, he's kind of Scottish for the most part, but then he goes to Irish, then he goes to English, sometimes Welsh, sometimes just, again, guttural sounds. And then we see, and this is interesting how they do this, they explain this is when we first start to hear the animals talk. And it's like, it's not that they're speaking English, as indicated in the Double Toaster review, but he's actually communicating with them as, like, with animal sounds. And so he'll act like a gorilla, like do all that stuff, and it's all ridiculous too. It doesn't make any sense. He's rolling around the goddamn ground half the goddamn time. It's sounding like a parrot, sounding like a mouse. I mean, just making random noises. But it's like, okay, you're at least you're attempting to explain this. At least you're. But Loco, welcome to stream. How you doing? Mesmero, welcome. Hopefully, you guys, again, correct me if I'm getting anything wrong. Some of these events are getting mixed up in my head. There's a lot going on. Yet it leads to nothing. And so basically we just get introduced to him. Again, he's a recluse. He's fucking dirty. He smells. He's got like a goddamn caveman beard and hair. He's gross. Playing chess with mice, terrible CGI mice, with a gorilla just showing his big fat ass. That's the first thing the gorilla does. It's like they're playing chess, and then he turns around. He's just those fucking giant, hairy, muscular butt cheeks just staring right at you. It's like you're watching the movie almost. That's basically watching. That's the experience of the movie. During this, then I think some of the other characters start to come into the movie. Then it switches over from the guttural animal sounds to English. And then we're hearing the animals as Dr. Dolittle hears them. It's like, okay. I don't mind that. It's like, okay, that's a fun way to explain it. The problem is, when the animals start talking, you realize just how annoying they are. Like, Gorilla's a fucking coward. And that goes to such a degree that you just despise him as a character. Really, the only character I tolerated for the most part was the Emma Thompson parrot, who's Polly, who comes into the room, tells Dr. Dolittle there's people on the premises, and that something's wrong. There's a squirrel or something needs surgery. And I think during this, the boy is still outside, and the animals are getting him. I think he's dragged around by the bear. And then the princess comes in, Lady Rose comes in, excuse me, and she's looking for Dr. Dolittle. He's just fucking hiding, and he's just doing all of the goofy Johnny Depp-esque Jack Sparrow type things. Again, it's very similar to Johnny Depp. As I said, this is a movie that Johnny Depp would have made in like the mid to late 2000s. This is what he's doing. That's why Robert Downey Jr. better be fucking careful. He doesn't go down that same career path, because we don't want that. I don't want that to happen to him. And so he's hiding in a very comical way. She obviously finds it, like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, I'm hiding. And she explains why she's there. Now we're getting to the plot here. Now we're getting to the central story. So it's not about his wife or anything like that. It's the fact that Lady Rose is there, and she's saying to him, the queen has fallen ill and she requested your help. And Robert Downey Jr. is like, fuck that. I don't care about the queen. I don't care that she bequeathed this huge mansion, entire estate for all my animals. I don't give a shit. Leave me alone. He's not about it. And then, basically, Princess Rose and the other kid eventually comes in, and he's like, I need help. And he's like, I want nothing to do with it. And then the animals start talking. He's like, listen, if you don't help him, he explains that it's like, As long as I live, I get to keep all my assets, this house, and this estate. But the animals explain, I was like, no, 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 no. As long as the queen lives, Victoria, you get to keep your mansion, your estate, and all your assets. He's like, shit. All right, I'll help. And so they clean him up. They do the whole, like, oh, you know, they cut his hair and they wash him. And it's a very comical sequence. And he finally, oh, no, I missed the thing. I missed the one part. I'm sorry, Chet. See, I'm getting confused, the scenes. Before that, before he gets cleaned himself up, he helps the goddamn squirrel with the kid. He hates the kid, by the way. Stubby teeth. And he performs surgery. And again, it's a very comical sequence. You got like a duck who's voiced by Octavia Spencer, keeps getting vegetables instead of medical tools. It's like, it's not time to joke. This squirrel could be dead. He fixes the squirrel. It's alive. And it's very annoying. There's a running joke of the squirrel throughout the entire rest of the movie that as they go on their journey, he's constantly making Star Trek references. You know, Captain's Log. That's it. That's all he does. That is his, like, he says revenge. I need revenge. And then he never takes revenge, by the way. That never happens. Never really actually has another conversation with the kid. They never interact after that. You thought they would have actually had some type of interaction afterwards. They're like, hey, let's address what happened between us. You shot me, and I know it was an accident, but let's talk. They never run to that again. And he does William Shatner joke for the rest of the movie. And then Amber's like, okay, get the fuck out. And then the animals talk to him. He's like, hey, you should do this because you'll lose the estate. He's like, fuck, okay, I will. And so he gets cleaned up. He says, I'll come and join you. And they're about to leave. He's like, all right, I'm not going to get in that goddamn carriage. Matter of fact, my animals are going to get in there. That's how much I don't give a shit. And so we're introduced to some of the other animals, too. You got John Cena as a polar bear that says, bro. You got Tom Holland as a dog who's can't see. He has eyeglasses. Emma Thompson as a parrot. I'm trying to think who else we have. Rami Malek as the cowardly gorilla. He's all about too many. There's too many goddamn animals, and none of them are memorable. Octavia Spencer, like they're neither memorable or they just do one thing. It's one-note jokes between all of them. Like one thing defines them, and that's about it. And then like one of the last ones we're introduced to among his crew is this ostrich who's very haughty, very selfish. He's voiced by Kumail Nanjiani. He doesn't want to do anything. And Robert Downey Jr., for whatever reason, wants to ride him, I guess. I don't know. And so they go off to Buckingham Palace. And this is when the movie, this all bad jokes throughout. We're going to get to some more right here. They go through Buckingham Palace. You know, the animals are tearing everything apart, acting goofy, as you'd expect in a film like this. He presents himself to the queen. Animals doing nonsense. He's like, all right, I got to... and he meets, again, one of the most mustache-twirling villains ever, played by Michael Sheen, who does a terrible job. He has nothing. All he does is... I mean, he might as well be. Like, every line he delivers is like a little bit of that. And he's like, was his rival in medical school, I guess. And he's a complete fucking idiot. Like, he's using goddamn... I mean, at the time, 1800s, 19th century level medicine, fucking leeching the queen and all that. It's like, all right, this is ridiculous. And, you know, doesn't know what he's doing. They have a little spat. But then he's like, all right, I'm here to help the queen. Oh! Witness! Witness me! Witness chat. Hello! Who is that? Princess Oriole. Oh, Princess Orioles, welcome to the stream. How you guys doing? Oh my God, there's a lot happening here. Witness him. How you guys doing today? I'm sorry, I didn't expect a raid. I'm doing my scene by scene breakdown of Robert Downey Jr.'s Dolittle. One of the worst movies of 2020. But welcome. No, good to see you. Austinic. Oh, Austinic, welcome. How you doing? Oh, because there's Michael Sheen blogging a better movie. I mean, he deserves that performance he gave. No, how you do? No, Princess Oreos, how was your stream? What were you playing today? What were you specifically streaming? I'm curious. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, my name is Mr. Evans7. I'm a variety streamer. Going to be playing some Death Stranding. I played about 3 streams of Death Stranding. I couldn't get into it. You been enjoying it? Been liking the Kojima nonsense that is Death Stranding? And a lot of people do. I'm not the biggest fan, but I know a lot of people did like that. No, but it's good to see you. Yeah, the story's worth it. I will say there's some really cool cinematic moments in that in the game. But no, I really do appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. You know, as I said, guys, just going over my review for Dolittle. So where were we? Oh, yeah. So the queen's dying, and so he sends the Tom Holland dog Oh, it gets really good, but you have to earn it pretty much. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, apparently it's like a 75-hour game, and I played about 10 hours in it. I just couldn't get invested. I couldn't get invested with it. You know. Like, there's Kojima games that I like. Obviously, several of the Metal Gear Solid games, Metal Gear Solid 1, Snake Eater, most recently on Phantom Pain, I really enjoyed those. But, yeah, it didn't hook me. I just wasn't a fan of the gameplay. And I thought the story was just so out there. But apparently the story does get better. So to each their own, Princess Oreos. By the way, guys, please do check out Princess Oreo stream. She does great content. She's very funny. She's a wonderful community. I've rated her several times in the past, and she is absolutely great. Different strokes for different folks. Exactly. Agree to disagree. That's the beauty of the games. There's something for everyone. No, I totally agree with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm glad it exists, because at least it's a very good conversation piece. No doubt. And for those that enjoy it, they enjoy it. And clearly appeal to a lot of people. But again, guys, please do check out Princess Oreo's content. I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. Here's to you, Princess Oreos. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather. There we go. As I was saying. So, Robert Downey Jr., Dolittle, basically says, all right, we have to identify what is ailing the Queen. So he sends the Tom Holland dog. Oh, we already got followers. I'm never going to finish this review. Thank you so much. Hope I'm saying this correctly. Nick Tourist, thank you for the follow. You're my Huckleberry. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far. The nonsense that you were seeing before your very eyes is very good. But, so he has to identify the thing that's ailing the Queen. So he sends the nearsighted Tom Holland dog onto the bed and sniffs her, does all that, licks her face. It's like, it's gross. And then he comes back, Doodle, and says, all right, I can't identify it. It's foul. It's wrong. And one of the worst lines of the movie. Again, poor Tom Holland uttering this dialogue saying, this is coming from someone who likes to sniff butts. It's like, great. All right, wonderful. But he does manage to identify, and this is weird, the ailment. It's the toxin. He understands, he identifies the toxin, but in order to cure the person, it's from this fruit that no one has seen before, from this tree that no one has seen before, on an island that, despite people knowing of its existence, no one has been to. How they know all three of those things, despite not knowing where those three things are, is incredibly confusing. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. That's just the way it is. That is the facts before us. He just spoke Swedish. God, I did. Spoke that Swedish chef. So, that's where we got. That's the adventure. So, he's like, all right, I have to go find this sap from this fruit from this tree on this island that no one knows about. Fair enough. But here's the shit chat. Here's the thing we start to learn. Dolittle, because he's like, you know what? Something's not right here. He starts to ask some of the animals around the Queen's room. He's like, okay, what's going on? Because she has a fish tank. And he interrogates the octopus. And again, another terrible line uttered by the octopus is, snitches get stitches, bitch. And it's like, why did you say that? I added the bitch at the end. But it's like, again, these modern phrases in a period piece, it does not work. It becomes incredibly cringy and off-putting and unintentionally funny. And I had fucking Gertz cackling next to me, and I heard Corey just fucking moaning and groaning. That's all I had. Oh, snitches get stitches. Exactly. So, after that, and Dolittle also, he has a little stick bug with him. I forget it's called stick bug, right? I don't know what the specific animal term is, but he leaves a stick bug in the bed chambers of the Queen, because he's like, all right, I want to use this little guy as a spy, so if he sees anything, he can tell me later on. And so he departs, and he's going to get all this shit together. And, and we also learn right after the scene that fucking James Broadbent, who is like the successor to the throne, this old man. Let me see what his specific role is, because I don't even remember. Here it is, Jim Broadbent. He's the Lord Thomas Badgley, and he is like, with the Queen doesn't have any children, he's the next successor. She doesn't have any kids, so he's the next one. He planned this assassination. He's the one who poisoned her, along with fucking Snidely Whiplash Michael Sheen. And so Michael Sheen will get everything he wants if Jim Broadbent becomes king. I might have those mixed up, but that, in terms of like where they come in the movie, but that's what we learn at that point. So we cut back, to Dolittle. He's preparing for his voyage. Doesn't want that fucking kid with him. He doesn't want Stubbins McTeeth around with him. He's like, go home, get the fuck out of here. And he's like, all right. And the kid's depressed, goes home to his uncle and his cousin, who can only speak in duck, who loves the goddamn ducks. He can't help himself, just quacking and ducking all around. But the animals like the kid. It's like they see something special in Stubbins, the same thing that they see that's so special in Dolittle. So they go after him. They get him. Polly's there, the new character, a giraffe, and then also a fox voiced by Marion Cotillard. The fox is only in the movie for about this sequence. I don't know what happened to the fox. I think it died. I think it died at sea. Or maybe it died on the way to get to the ship. So they rescue him, riding through town, basically this is a chase sequence, that's all it really is. Terrible CGI throughout, it looks really fake. The kid looks super fake, he's holding on the giraffe. The ship's already out there, he's like, how are we gonna get the ship? So I was like, it's gonna pass under an unfinished bridge. And again, very bad action sequence where they go up the bridge, and one of the more unintentionally funny moments where they all fucking flip over off the bridge. I guess the kid does. I don't know what happens to the giraffe, the fox, and I guess the giraffe and fox just stay there. I don't know what happens to them. But then Polly and the kid, they fall. The kid somehow miraculously survives, and he's there. He's like, Doolittle's like, shit, now I gotta deal with you, and everything else that's happening. And Doolittle's dead. He's just doing random improv stuff where it's like, all right, you're gonna help me, then clean this up. And he starts knocking baskets of apples and food over. It's very obnoxious. It's like, all right, whatever. And then throughout this is the part, this feels like just filler where we get to interact with all the animals. The kids trying, Stubbins McTeeth is trying to learn their language. Dolittle is trying to help the animals, trying to get Cheech and Chong's confidence up. He's supposed to be a gorilla. You gotta be more aggressive. You gotta have that self-confidence. He has no self-confidence. Trying to teach him to box, all that. And there's some other sequences of animals too. Monkeys are involved. Again, very obnoxious stuff. Eventually, Dolittle warms up to the kid, and he's like, "Hey, you are actually learning. That's great. Okay. I see what the animals see in you now. It's like, all right. It's a little bonding moment." Eventually, we get to this next sequence where because Jim Broadbent sent Michael Sheen's character, okay, you got to go out there and fucking kill Dolittle. He can't get that fucking exotic fruit that no one knows exists on that tree that no one knows exists on an island that no one has been there before. It's like, okay, fine. Michael Sheen's out there. He has to sink Dolittle's ship. And then during this, we get another action sequence. When Dolittle's like, all right, we can get away from him. We can get away from him. And he does this whole thing where he uses like this harness he puts into the ocean. And we get some of my favorite characters in the film, which are these two humpback whales. And again, these humpback whales deliver some pristine goddamn dialogue, in my opinion. Where the first thing they say underneath the waves, "I'm coming." It's like, I love it. I love it so much. So he pushed it in there. He's in like a scuba suit and shit. The animal's trying to keep away from Michael Sheen's very powerful steam-powered ship. And their ship takes some damage. Cheech and Chong, the gorilla, he's useless, completely useless. Almost leaves Dr. Dolittle to die. Basically, he couldn't hold on to this goddamn rope that Dolittle was connected to under the ocean. He's like, "Oh, you fucked up!" And the kid grabs, the other animals grab it. Cheech and Chong is just so sad and scared. Dolittle miraculously does survive, and he says, "Oh, don't worry about it, Cheech and Chong." Like, I would be fucking pissed. I'd be like, "No, fuck you. Get over whatever trauma you have. I've been helping you for goddamn years. Matter of fact, you don't help yourself, I'm throwing you fucking overboard. Let's see if you fucking swim." Fear is a hell of a goddamn motivator. It's bullshit, chat, and I didn't like it. I don't like that goddamn. I don't like that gorilla. I'm not for hunting and everything except deer. Fuck the deer. But I'm not against hunting or anything, but if one animal had to die in this movie, it would have been that gorilla, because he's useless. He really is useless. Okay, now we discover why, I think, probably even earlier, maybe at this point, we now know what Dolittle's destination is. It is not to the island, because he doesn't actually know where it is, so I guess that kind of makes sense, but the person he does know where it is was his wife, who was this great explorer. She only knew the location of the fruit on the tree on the island. And so he's going to this pirate enclave. And this is where the editing gets really bad in the movie, because we go from the ship automatically to the island and then infiltrating this pirate fortress of this guy. And that's about it. It's so bizarre. Which is owned by a very effeminate Antonio Banderas, and I'll explain why in a second. There's something that people have not mentioned in a lot of reviews, and Gertz and I found it hilarious in regards to Antonio Banderas' character. But they get there, and then we get another fucking modern day reference, which in order to infiltrate the pirate palace, Dr. Dolittle, one of his other animals we were introduced to, again, a fucking annoying dragonfly, voiced by Jason, I can't say this guy's name, Mantzoukas? Mankiewicz? I can't say his name, guys. I apologize. But he's terrible. And where he's having a conversation with these ants who are basically, they're doing a scene from The Godfather. And it's like, why did you come to me on my daughter's wedding day? And he basically asks a request, and Doolittle's like, hey, I'll give you 2 sugar cubes if you can help us infiltrate this. He's like, all right, I'll accept your offer. And that's about it. And then there's some bad jokes of the Dragonfly. Where he's like, hey, I was dating your daughter. How is she? Well, she married a scorpion. It's just like, what the fuck is happening? It doesn't make any sense. Again, it's that Looney Tunes shit. They don't know whether to make these animals realistic at first, or then they become Looney Tune characters later. And there's a lot of that in these sequences that are coming up. And so they're infiltrating the fortress, I think. Yeah. I forget what Dolittle is doing and what the kid is. The kid, oh yeah, now I remember. The kid, so they open the door, but only the kid is small enough to get through. That's what happens. And so the kid goes through, and he's infiltrating Antonio Banderas, the pirate lord's bedroom. And in the bedroom are, like, about a dozen lions. Antonio Banderas is asleep because he likes danger, apparently. And, like, there's all these lions around him. I think mostly female lions. I don't know. Is he fucking the lions? I don't know. I imagine so. He seems to have a very eclectic taste in sexual partners, as I will go into detail later on. So it's surrounded by lions. The kid's trying to get to where he needs to go because that's where the book is, the map that the wife had or whatever. And he put it in his treasure vault. Like, why does Antonio Banderas have it? I don't know. Well, maybe it all should be revealed in a second. And so the kid finally gets it. He gets it with much success. He does, he's very ambidextrous, that kid. Very athletic. He gets there. He opens the vault and he finds the book. But this stupid fucking dragonfly, he's basically demasculated by the Don Corleone ants. And he's basically fucking with the lions. Like, I'm going to land on you, and then land on you. And then he fucks up, obviously. And it's terrible. Reb Diego, it's crazy. Everything I'm saying is truth. Everything I'm saying is truth. And again, for those of you who are joining me for the first time, welcome to stream. Hope you're all doing very, very well tonight. Apologies if I have not said anything if I haven't mentioned you in the comments. It's just because I'm on a goddamn roll and I don't want to lose my place because I might get confused. And so Antonio Banderas wakes up because the lions start roaring and shit. And they find the kid in there. And Antonio Banderas, he's fucking smitten, chat, with this kid. And no one has mentioned this interview. He's like, hello. I mean, he is all about this very young child. And it made me very uncomfortable. And I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this. And so Dolittle ends up getting captured too. And then Antonio Banderas puts Dolittle and Stubbins McTeeth in this prison, basically. Puts him in a cage. I mean, it's like a prison cell. It's a very large prison cell. And he starts, and then we get the reveal. Dolittle's wife, Lily, her name's Lily, by the way, I didn't say that before. Lily is the daughter of the pirate lord played by Antonio Banderas. I was like, oh my god. So that's why, why Dolittle didn't just ask him for the book, I don't understand. I guess there's some bad blood. Antonio Banderas like, you took my daughter away from me. Listen, dude, you should let your daughter, be free and shit. You can't have everything. She's not goddamn golden jewels, man. She's a human being. Be respectful. And so he's like, all right, I'm going to sentence you to death, except that luscious little child you have with you, he is mine. Come here, little boy. And he gets the kid out. He gets Stubbins McTeeth out of that cage. He's going to leave Dolittle to die. For whatever reason, I don't know why he wants to save the kid. Again, just because he wants to fuck him, chat. As I will detail some sequences that are coming up. And so he leaves Dolittle in here, and they leave or whatever. And then the Looney Tunes shit that starts happening. Dolittle looks up, he hears someone like talking shit to him. Like, oh, it's another prisoner or something. And it's a very Bugs Bunny-esque anthropomorphic rabbit who sounded like Will Arnett with an eye patch, who was just talking shit to Dolittle the entire time. He's very human. It's like, he doesn't look like the other rabbits or any other creature we see in the movie. Against the inconsistency. And then we cut to the scene with Antonio Banderas and the kid, and they're having a goddamn pirate dinner or whatever. And fucking Antonio Banderas just takes some like black eyeliner and just goes, does this to the kid's face. Ooh. And does like this like 3 markings like down his eyes and down his nose. I'm not joking. Does this. And you're one of us now. And I was like, okay. Again, it's this new boy toy. It gets lonely out at sea, chat. That's the only thing I could think of. And he takes, he really does care about this kid more than Dolittle certainly did. Like, Antonio Banderas's pirate lord took a very quick shine in this kid than Dolittle did. Much quicker than Dolittle did. It's very bizarre to me. But then we come back to the jail cell, and we learn that why, he's chained up in this large cell, because of the goddamn tiger. And then we meet Barry the tiger, voiced by Ray Fiennes, and, he's gonna eat Dolittle. But we also learn that Barry was a patient of Dolittle. And apparently Barry has, like, some really intense, like, mother-son issues. He has some, like, psychological damage. Like, the only way to impress his mother is, in his mind, is to kill and eat something. But it's never as good as his brother. It's like weird Freudian shit, man. That's what it is. This is like a Sigmund Freud type case. And the tiger at first is not really attacking him. He's kind of like, he starts talking to him and everything. And they kind of have like a heart-to-heart at first. But then the tiger's like, you know what? Fuck that. I will prove to Mumsy, and I'm the best tiger, better than my goddamn brother if I eat you. And they start fighting and everything. And this all happens. I think the kid somehow escapes at one point. I don't know. I don't remember how. But then, maybe the kid escapes at one point. And then she goes to the ship with the other animals. They say, we got to rescue Dolittle. And then the useless Cheech and Chong gorilla finally becomes brave, I think, for the first time ever. And then along with some other animals. Polly gets there too. Polly gets knocked by Barry or whatever. And then Cheech and Chong gets into a fight with Barry. We get some terrible sight gags throughout it. Barry gets his Barry gets, a slow motion kick to the balls, the tiger balls. No balls, by the way. Barry is fucking smooth down there. I mean, that's another part of his, weird psychological trauma is the fact that he's basically, been spayed or been neutered. And so I think that might be it. That might be the trauma. And so there's nothing down. He didn't feel nothing. But again, he wants to feel something, chat. And he's just playing it on. It's like stage acting. It's very bizarre. And, they escape. They get out of there somehow. The gorilla busts them out, I think. Then after that... and then the Will Arnett rabbit, he's all saying, like, I lost $50,000 on that. And he says some other lines like, did Dolittle make a doo-doo? Like, just terrible fucking lines, chat, throughout this entire sequence. Dez, welcome to the stream. True Popper King, welcome. I know, listen, it's been amazing. I'm glad people are tuning in for this. Hope you enjoy my review. Is it nonsense, chat? I understand the words. Hopefully I'm crafting a narrative for you to understand. And so, Barry the Barry, he gets his berries kicked in. The Will Arnett rabbit is very upset. And then Dolittle and the kid and the other animals, they escape. And then there's at one point, I guess... so maybe the kid isn't in this scene because Dolittle gets back to the dock and the kid later escapes the grasp. The grasp of Antonio Banderas. And he goes to meet Dolittle, but Dolittle's like, no. And then, lo and behold, it's fucking Michael Sheen. He followed them to the Pirate Enclave. And the kid has the book. That's it, because he has the book with it. I got the book, Dr. Dolittle, because he was in Antonio Banderas' bedroom after the meal. Grabs the book. They go there. Michael Sheen grabs the book. All right, I got the book now. I know where to find the sap or whatever. The fruit from the tree in the island no one knows existed. And so he's like, all right, I got this. I'm going to destroy your boat. Destroys their boat. Animals are evacuating and shit. There's some bonding between some characters, between the ostrich, voiced by Camille Nanjiani, and the polar bear, voiced by John Cena. Again, terrible dialogue. They get up on shore. I don't know why Michael Sheen just didn't kill Dolittle and the kid. He probably should have done that. So then he won't pursue you. But again, Michael Sheen is a completely incompetent villain throughout the entire movie. And, after that, Dolittle's like, he's just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm done. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm just going to be a doctor on this island. And then he gets a pep talk from all his other animals, and Stubbins McTeeth is like, no, we got to keep going, do it for the lady. And then he's like, and the thing that gets him going, though, it's not Stubbins McTeeth or all the animals that have come to care for him. It's the fucking sexy pirate lord, Antonio Banderas, saying, it's like, listen, you know what? Even though I was totally fine with letting you die a few minutes ago. Basically, maybe like a half hour ago at most, chat. A half hour ago, I was going to let a tiger eat you. You know what, Dolittle? I like your spunk. I like your survival instincts. You never stop trying, kid. Go and take one of my ships. Go ahead and take it. You love my daughter. I love my daughter. Go for it. Go for it. Although I love in this scene, because I think it also still threatens him to kill him, maybe in the beginning, and he still takes the kid with him. He's like, no, you come with me. Still trying to save the kid. He loves his boy toy, chat. He loves him. But after whatever, there's something that clicks where it's like, okay, I'm gonna let you go. He lets him go. They get a new ship. Some terrible sight gags. We're introduced to a character named Jeff who was a prisoner on the ship. It's just like, again, they remove a sheet and this guy in this, I forgot what it's called. But it's like, not a guillotine, but it's like a harness thing. Where you got your head in it, your arms are in it. And he's like, hi, I'm Jeff. And that's it. That's a joke. And then we get some we get some more terrible editing where we go from the ship and we're already on the island that no one knew existed. How did they get there? I don't remember. Because they don't have the book to get there. Yeah, not explained. I don't know if that was explained. If someone can explain that for me, if that's a plot sequence that I missed, if there's a line of dialogue, but they just somehow end up on the island despite needing the book that Michael Sheen has. They don't explain that, Chris there. So that's the thing, guys. Like this movie is edited to shit. There are entire sequences missing from this film. Does Antonio Banderas know where it is? I don't know. I guess he has the book, so maybe he would know. Maybe give him directions. I don't remember the dialogue. Oh, the orangutan. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah, so when, oh, Jesus, I can't believe, again, you forget because it doesn't play any importance into the movie. But yeah, there's this sequence where, it's a scene where when Dolittle's like just giving up and everything, and everyone's giving a pep talk, and then we immediately cut to this orangutan we've never seen before, and he's like, I love to dance, and then it's over. They look at him, and then it's over. It's like, what is happening? What relevance did it have to this entire scene other than just have a sight gag? It doesn't even make any sense. We don't have any connection with that orangutan character. He comes back, though. He comes back in a still image at the end. And then hanging out with Antonio Banderas' character. Again, bizarre. But after that, we go from the ship and Jeff, and then immediately we're on the island. We're immediately on the cliffside with the other animals and Dolittle and Stubbins McTeeth. That's it. It's again, there's no bad sense of continuity here, Chip. We don't know how much time has passed. They're just there. I guess it took like a half day or something because the sun isn't even fucking set. So, and then we get the squirrel. He's doing his goddamn Captain Kirk stuff like Captain's log. You know, I'm with Dolittle. And it's just why. It serves no purpose. But then we're there. I guess we're at the place where the tree is. And then, you know, like they find it. It's all sparkly, glowy inside. It's like, oh, this is where the sap is. Batshield's welcome to stream. How you doing? And then they get discovered by Michael Sheen's men. And Michael Sheen's like, I beat you, Dolittle. I found the island. But the Dolittle's like, you didn't find the tree, though. You know, I didn't find the fruit. And he's like, Michael Sheen's like, no. He's like, where is it? And Dolittle's like, legitimately, like, I don't know where it is. I know where the island is now, but I have no idea where the tree is. And then Michael Sheen is very mad. He grabs a flag. He's like, I've been doing this for Queen and country, even though the Queen's gonna fucking die. So maybe that was like a little, little insult to him. So he places this flag into the ground. It causes this weird spider shockwave throughout the cave. And then we get to the moment. It's like, I don't know why. I don't know why this happened. I don't know why people, again, Dr. Dolittle, where he actually deals with animals and everything, why they decide to do this in the movie. This is the one that everyone's talking about. It's just so fucking ridiculous. After the reverberation through the cave, it reveals that the guardian, I guess, of the mystical tree, which was not mentioned before, it was not mentioned that the tree had a guardian, a fucking dragon appears. A giant dragon voiced by, I forget who the hell it is. Oh, Frances de la Tour. I don't know who Frances de la Tour is. But we find ourselves in the midst of a fire-breathing dragon who proceeds to eat Michael Sheen's crew, vomits on them and then burns them alive. You don't see it. We see the vomit, but we see what happens. We know what's happening. Michael Sheen's panicking. He basically is pushing all his... Get the fuck away from me! He's pushing all his men away and shit. He was like, oh, I can finally be good, but he doesn't care. He ends up falling down a hole. We don't really see him for most of the movie after that, except for one other scene. And then Dolittle's like, what do we do? And he's like, oh yeah, so he gets captured. This is what happens. He gets captured. So they're trying to escape or whatever. Dolittle ends up getting captured with the dragon. But the dragon, it can't kill him. It tries, it vomits on him, but it can't breathe its fire. And she's like, just go away. Go away. And Dolittle notices off in this little alcove that the dragon's mate, I imagine, or its babies, I'm not sure. But he sees a skeleton of the dragon. They have that heart-to-heart. It's like, oh, you lost someone. I lost someone. I see what you're going through. But let me help you. Let me cure what's ailing you. And then, chat, we find out that the dragon is just suffering from incredible constipation. Can't take a shit in years. Too much iron in her diet. Literally iron. Literally suits of armor that are made of iron and steel. And so Dolittle says, all right, I got to perform a goddamn surgery on this dragon. Gets the animals to help, turns her over on his side. He's like, all right, let's get in there. And he just proceeds to pull shit. Not like shit, I say shit. Shit out of this dragon's ass. Except it's not shit. It's not caked in shit like you would expect. Just clean as day. Weapons and armor from various centuries and things. Pulling them all out of this dragon's ass. She's like, oh. Like the entire, it's like, I don't like this. This is making me uncomfortable. I don't like it. Yeah. Human bones. It's kind of really disturbing, but not caked in shit at all. It's very clean. And then, I think the last thing he gets out of her, I think, is the bagpipes or something. Oh, no, it's not before that. So he takes all the stuff, and he's like, okay, you got to help me with this one. And then she proceeds out by farting. A massive, hair-blown bag, gums, lips just, jiggling and flapping fart. That also takes out some of the other animals too. Like they're blown back, he's blown back, and she fucking sharts out. Yes, Chad, I said sharts. It's a shit and a fart. Sharts out a bagpipe, a pair of bagpipes. The Scottish instrument, because she ate a Scotsman, I guess, one day. And she's like, oh, I'm much better now. And then the fact that she's, in a much better place, she no longer has the blockage. She reveals the actual location of the tree. With the fruit, with the sap you need to cure the queen. He's like, yeah, here it is. This is what you came for. Even though I don't think he mentioned that. I don't remember. And so he grabs that. That's about it. That's all we deal with the dragon. Again, chat, what the fuck is happening? I don't understand. That part's going to be on Pornhub. Oh, someone's going to masturbate to that. There's no question. Someone is just going to be jacking it to that goddamn dragon colonoscopy, chat. There's no question. That's someone's fetish. That's someone's kink. So, we come back to merry old England, London, merry old London. We find the Tom Holland dog. Oh yeah, I forgot some sequences of the Tom Holland dog. So they leave the Tom Holland dog to protect the queen earlier in the movie. And he's like, I'm going to be on patrol. And then he proceeds to rub his ass on the carpet for a visual gag. It's not funny. That happens. But the queen's on death's door. She's not doing well. Jim Broadbent's like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm going to be king now. But then, all of a sudden, Dolittle bursts through with all those animals. They got the fruit with the sap that they need. And Jim Brown's like, fuck that! Arrest them! Kill them! Or whatever he says. And so they're doing, again, it's very poorly choreographed, CGI-heavy sequence where all the animals getting the sap and the fruit and they're throwing it to everybody. Or the fruit, I guess. And so then they got the little flying squirrel that was in Dolittle's head the entire time. She grabs the fruit, I guess, and she does some sequence. And then the kid. Oh, yeah, the kid. Stubbs McTeeth. He grabs the fruit from the flying squirrel, proceeds to squeeze the sap out of it onto the luscious lips of the queen. She takes it in. She's good. She's fine. Because that's how medicine works, Tat. You just drink it instantly, no problem whatsoever. It's not like you need to ingest it or have it go throughout your body and bloodstream. No, instantly when it touches your lips, you're okay. That is science. That's how science works. It's a fucking miracle. And then she starts to come to. She's fine. And Jim Brum's like, oh, fucking thank God, I'm glad you're okay. Dolittle, he did a great job, even though he tried to kill Dolittle, his animals, and Stubbins McTeeth. But Dolittle's like, not so fast, Jim Broadbent. And he goes to the wall, the picture where we had the little stick bug. The walking stick bug. And he's like, I left this guy here because I can understand him. He speaks in 8-syllable sentences. And he'll reveal to me what was happening. And as we know, chat, Jim Broadbent was talking that shit with Michael Sheen, saying, like, okay, we're going to fucking kill the queen, right? And he's like, yes, we are going to do that. And then the stick bug reveals that within 8 syllables to Dolittle. And everyone's like, oh, fuck. The queen's like, Jesus, you tried to kill me. Arrest that and execute him immediately. And they get Jim Broadbent, and they definitely are going to execute him, Chad. He's definitely going to die. There's no question. Because they also find the poison vial in his pocket. That's the other thing the stick bug says. Why would you carry that around with you the entire time? See, the thing is, like, Chad, if I was murdering a monarch, with poison, I would poison him, sure. Like, okay, that's done. Got it. Makes sense. But then I would immediately get rid of that. Just fucking throw that into the Thames, the Thams, whatever the fuck they call that goddamn river. And just pitch it over. And no one would be of the wiser. You could have gotten away with it, Jim Broadbent. You still could have denied, like, nah, I didn't do that. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Dolittle's fucking crazy. He's talking to a stick bug. It makes no sense. Execute him. And they would have executed Dolittle and Stubby's McTeeth, and all the animals would have died, and then Jed Broadbent would have schemed again and probably assassinated Queen at another point. That's what probably would have happened. But it didn't. And so they're going to execute Jim Broadbent later on. And then, yeah, so then we're at this is the end game. So after this, Dolittle is, the Queen's like, oh, Dolittle, I'm in your debt. Keep your manor, your estate, your assets, your animals. And Dolittle, he finds, despite the death of his wife, he feels alive again for the first time ever. He has his animals. He went on a journey. He dealt with some shit, some personal shit. He found his assistant, basically a son-like character, opens up his mansion to the animals of the world and people who want to help their animals. And he's like, oh, it's wonderful. And then we cut to credits. Basically, this is it. This is the end of the movie, Chad. That's all that happens. Cut to the credits. We see all the pictures of the people and the animals and all the actors who voiced them. But then, here's the thing. I didn't know this. There is an end credit stinger. And what character did I forget about, chap? Who have we not seen in a while? Michael fucking Sheen. What happened? He fell down a goddamn gaping black hole. What happened to this kid? We find out he's still on the island, and he's in a cave, and he's surrounded by giant bats. And so he's like, you know what? Maybe Dolittle has something. Maybe talking to his animals is the thing. So he starts speaking bat, or at least attempting to. He's like, help me, please. And the bats are like, all right, you got to shut the fuck up. We're going to kill you. And he keeps speaking bat. He's like, all right, we warned you. And they surround him and suck him to death, basically. And he dies. He definitely dies. Just like Jim Broadbent, who was absolutely executed at the end of the film. And that's Dolittle. That's the movie. It is a terrible film. It suffers from, again, not knowing what it wants to be. And I think that's its biggest flaw in the end. You could tell that there were a lot of behind-the-scenes issues, tonal issues. Despite it having such a massive budget, it feels cheap. And, the central character in Dolittle, who you're supposed to be, it's supposed to be your main character, someone you're charmed by and like, admire, you don't care about him. If anything, you start to resent him. Because Robert Downey Jr. doesn't even know what he wants to be in the film. He's all over the place. It's very similar. Again, it's very similar to a role that Johnny Depp would have played back in the day. That era of Johnny Depp where it's a lazy performance, Chad. And even though Robert Downey Jr. could say, like, I put my entire life in this character, it doesn't matter because it just feels so haphazard that it just comes off not feeling important at all. And that's the film. It's just a lot of disappointing sequences and dialogue and jokes. And you're left to something that is probably going to be considered to be one of the worst movies of 2020. I'm going to be surprised if I see something as bad as this. I guess I kind of have. Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace is pretty bad. So maybe both of those. But yeah, but what about you guys? Some of you who have seen Dolittle, let me know. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts on it? Des, good to see you. Corbin, glad you guys are still watching. I really do appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying it. Sarah, Dr. Dolittle is Iron Man's purgatory after Endgame. Oh my God, he went to hell. It's like, listen, you may have sacrificed for, your daughter, for the world, for the goddamn universe, but you still had a life of sin and vice, Tony Stark. Remember all those weapons you created that kill those innocent people? Bat shields, think of the 25 biddies. Why does this movie exist for? I don't know. I don't know why it exists. Austin, ashtray, bitch. I love it. Oh, yeah, it's bad, chat.